Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to The Burning Truth.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Burning Truth.
And Martin, you had one job to check the sound.
Maybe you should actually hire a sound guy again.
Oh, what are you doing here then?
Right,
Everything you can't.
so welcome to The Burning
So check sound.
Oi,
Why don't you do your job?
you pair. If you want to make love, go outside. And I'll do the podcast on my own.
Oh, okay.
So welcome to The Burning Truth, everyone. We're here. It's Saturday night. We're back in the usual time slot, just a couple minutes late, but we're here.
It was worth it.
So, this week, wrestling has been on the slow burn to Fastlane.
The slow burn.
You know, I don't quite feel they've moved up a gear in the build to Fastlane.
Not yet. It was like, we're building up. Technically, I think the main picture should be Universal title, but that's so convoluted. You don't know whether the story's going to be more about Goldberg versus Kevin Owens or if it's going to be Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho.
So that's that. So as you can hear, my colleague Matt Burns is here.
Yeah.
You've got myself, and we also have our third wheel. You know.
The third wheel.
Yeah.
The one who's always
the
loose.
spoon that goes with our knife and fork. It is Martin.
Martin, the lovebird, Palmer.
So this week we're just going to cover the build up to Fastlane because, what is it, 2 weeks away?
It's roughly about that.
2 weeks away. So far we're going to have the Queen of Pay-Per-Views versus Bayley.
Yep.
You'll probably have Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax yet again. You've got Goldberg versus Kevin Owens.
Boo.
Enzo and Cass versus the Club.
Yeah.
What else have we got? Jericho versus Sami Zayn, supposedly. Reigns versus Strowman.
I believe we've got possibly England versus England for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, you've got Neville versus Jack Gallagher.
Yep.
So it looks a decent call.
Strowman versus Reigns.
I've already said that.
Which I think could actually be a surprise. I don't know why.
Well, let's quickly talk about the main event of Raw, which was Big Show versus Braun Strowman.
Yeah, definitely.
How good was that match?
Nobody expected it.
Braun Strowman had 6 matches in NXT in developmental before they brought him up.
Yeah.
6. None of them were on the main NXT show.
Nope.
They were all at house shows.
Yep.
So technically, he never debuted in NXT.
Nope.
Not properly to a television audience.
Not really. Well, actually, he did actually debut to the television audience before he was properly in the Wyatts. And a lot of people always keep forgetting this. Who was the bodyguard of the parties when Adam Rose was around?
Was it Strowman?
Yep. He was there, playing a nice guy. Smiling.
Those were auditions for Wonder Woman.
You leave Wonder Braun out of this.
But no, like that match, the kip up was amazing. You know, people are moaning that it was slightly assisted, but you try to be 380 pounds and do a kip up.
Not easy.
Would you like to do a kip up?
Done one.
When?
Ages ago.
How long ago?
It was ages ago.
He needed a shed.
I needed to elevate. Rise from thy grave.
But no, it's so hard to do. Like Big Show's done a couple with the ropes.
Plus, I was landing on a lower step as well.
Big Show's done a couple with the ropes, but
yeah,
never done a kip up
like that.
Like an assisted kip up, like he used to be able to do it in his WCW days without help. But it's the first time, like, because it looked amazing, that
It
kick
does.
and it's adding layers to, like, that match has done more for Braun Strowman than what the last 3 months has done.
Agreed.
Because it showed depth, showed he has strength. Big Show effectively passed the torch of
The big man.
the big man across.
For Raw, yeah. Definitely.
Did you like the sit kick on Roman Reigns?
Oosh.
I was a bit annoyed at Michael Cole. Drop kick! No.
Sick kick.
Sit kick! Drop kick is where you turn to the side normally, unless it's a front missile drop kick.
Which that wasn't. That was more of a sick kick.
Because he only hit him with 1 foot.
However, Vince McMahon might have been disappointed. He didn't have Roman Reigns cocking his arm as much. You know, doing the rub.
Because we all know Vince like cocks.
That was the opinion of Nathan Goff, not of the Burning Truth, or Matt Burns, or Martin the Loverboy Palmer.
No, it is a proven fact in WWE because Triple H said it.
Ooh.
Here's the go-to guy. What he says.
I'm not even going to touch that with it.
So-
I'm not getting involved.
So, moving on though, like the match itself, there was good tension. There was the tease for the big spots.
Yeah. Told the right story.
There was a few problems with the match, but
Any
overall,
match can
it
have
was,
issues.
It was a good match, good solid main event. And
Yeah.
it showed us the novelty of what a big guy versus a big guy, because we don't see it that often. It's a spectacle.
It's the wonderment. But then when you see one of them, it's like, oh wait, this big guy versus big guy. It's just going to be close. It's going to be this. And then you see Braun Strowman doing all drop kicks and everything. What the?
Like there's even a little bit of chain wrestling.
Exactly. And it's nice to see big men actually do something other than just go, oh,
How Vince
Oh.
does it.
No, Vince prefers the big guys because it's a spectacle.
Makes it seem
It's
more
the grandeur.
superhuman.
Yeah.
no, it's the grandeur of it. Because in fairness, if you're up against someone who's 7 foot tall with a fist almost as big as your face, and he hits you with it,
Unless it's Brock versus Goldberg. But don't go.
you're asking for a beating, aren't you?
Hi, Vince. I love you.
But no. So moving on very quickly.
They were the opinions of Martin Loverboy Palmer, not of the Nathan Goff or Matt Burns or the Burning Truth.
So moving on to that. So Braun Strowman having a good build, also put Roman Reigns down for another week.
Yeah.
The way it should be, building it up. We know Roman's going to get the win at Fastlane,
Yeah.
but Strowman's going in looking strong, and as long as
Human-
they keep him looking strong,
They need to, and here's the thing: what if they want Roman to be over the crowd? They need to humanise him.
and a couple of losses. In all fairness, a loss to Braun Strowman wouldn't hurt.
It wouldn't. It would do Strowman some actual good, make him look like a legitimate badass,
Mm.
and then
He can come back with revenge in his eyes.
Roman can basically, the biggest problem that they've got is they always make the indestructible force, the immovable object. They make it so massive, so it's too predictable. John Cena. Oh, I return to SmackDown versus Baron Corbin. Ha ha. Hashtag lol, I win. What happened? He won.
So no, so that's what's happened there. Let's have a look at the women's. So the women's segment for me dragged.
Yeah.
Like it was. If Stephanie isn't going to get in the ring with Bayley or Sasha Banks, I don't see what the point of these 15-20 minute promos are.
Why turn up?
Like there's got to be a payoff. And Stephanie versus Sasha Banks at WrestleMania would be a good match.
It would.
As long as Stephanie puts Sasha Banks over.
Yep.
But odds are.
Oh no, I think she would put Sasha over. But I don't think we'll get to see it. I think we'll see a fatal four-way for the women's title, but I don't want to see the fatal four-way. I'd rather see Bayley versus Charlotte
Yeah.
and Bayley break the pay-per-view streak at WrestleMania.
Oh, I believe my colleague's already put in his prediction in for Fastlane already. Charlotte to win.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest with you, I agree with, because I think the fact that the way they're doing the streak is actually hurting them. I actually do think that's hurting them.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, she's won it on pay-per-views, but you can't hold it on a basic Raw. Hot potato, hot potato, hot potato.
But is it hurting them? Because have they built up Charlotte as a must-see pay-per-view person?
Agreed, I do agree with you on that estate, but
Because
the problem there is...
it also backs up with the fact that you always raise your game for the big nights.
Agreed, but if you can't defend your if you can't defend the championship on any given night, are you really worthy of it?
She wins on the big occasion, but
any other night she just I won the title on Raw, I won the title pay-per-view. Next night on Raw she loses it to Tom, Dick or Harry.
You could say
and
the same
Susan
then about Finn Balor.
Finn Balor
was an
had
injury.
To vacate his.
His was due to an injury.
Yeah, but
No, it's an injury. There's a difference between actually losing the title and having to vacate it. What are you going to say?
Charlotte's lost hers, though. So the first time she lost it was in a fair fight. The second time was in a Falls Count Anywhere match where the bank statement was locked in on the steps.
Yeah. Which is quite nasty.
So she can't crawl to the ropes.
Nope.
So therefore, she's got a good reason why she tapped out, because otherwise she would have passed out.
No, it's fine.
The third time, which is the last time that she's just lost it. Oh no, sorry. The Iron Man or the Iron Woman match.
Rolled up to it.
She locked in again. She locked in the figure. Oh no, she won the Iron Woman match, didn't she?
Yeah, which is pay-per-view.
Yeah. And then you've got the one that she's just lost now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she lost that due to Sasha Banks hitting her with a crutch.
As much as...
So she's only lost it once.
I know what you're saying.
And how often do heels, and I aren't saying this to defend Charlotte, but how often do heels normally lose clean? They're supposed to lose clean in the title wins to put the face over. Charlotte's lost dirty twice out of 3 times.
Not really dirty once, I'd say.
Once? So you call having the bank statement locked in over the step bar?
Over a step bar in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
But do you want
No, that's not... Well, technically, anything goes. Last time I checked, it's within the confines of the rules, which is still considered to be a clean win. But I know exactly what you're going to say. There were special circumstances, which is what you're stating. It's not the fact of... What you need to refer to, instead of it being a clean win and a dirty win, needs to be more of a special circumstances, which I actually agree with you to some degree. However, I think a title reign, a championship becomes more prestigious with a long reign defeat. Okay, it's okay sometimes to hot potato a title.
Does it become more prestigious with a long reign, or does it become more prestigious the higher quality the matches are?
True, but to take into account, how many times has she been women's champion?
So yeah, I've got to say,
3
Charlotte's dragging this along. There's no heart and soul going into it.
No.
It's like, passed on. There's no build-up.
She's a good champ.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Good, but there's no attitude.
No. She's actually a good champion. So why don't you just let her defend it?
She did defend it.
No.
Bearing in mind, she had a long reign with the title.
Yes, but she did. But short reigns don't tend to take into account. A lot of people can turn around and say, "Oh, John Cena is almost is tied with Ric Flair's record." Right? How long has that taken him to do that? A long time.
Well,
right? Wait. At the rate that Charlotte's going, she's going to be beating her daddy's record with the women's title within less than a year.
No.
And then that means Ric Flair's supposed record-breaking title runs and everything means nothing.
I disagree there. The women's title is not a world title.
To some it may be, but I think it can be considered a world title for the women's division.
No, otherwise it'd be the world's women's title, not just the women's championship.
I would say it's a world title because it gets defended on multiple continents. Last time I checked, and that's by the official statement. It's just because WWE doesn't state on it.
Well,
it is a world title.
By that logic, the Intercontinental title's a world title.
It did used to be called the world title.
Hello to the feminazis.
It did actually used to be considered a world title last time I checked.
And the US?
US used to be actually called the US heavyweight last time I checked, and world. It's an unusual one. I know exactly what you're saying, but
therefore every belt in WWE is a world championship.
It can be considered a world championship. Yes, it can, but it's WWE's own labeling. That's their system because they are a worldwide company. They could if they wanted to, but the point being is, me personally, I think Charlotte should have more of a straight run. I know exactly what you're saying. Hot potato, and a hot potato. If they're going to pass it to somebody else, let them have it for a month or two.
After WrestleMania, you won't see Charlotte in the women's title picture for a while.
Yes.
Because you're going to see Bayley versus Sasha Banks.
Yes, agreed. I do agree with you, but it just doesn't. When Charlotte lost the title, when Charlotte wins the title, it means nothing to me. When she won it on the pay-per-view, do you know why? Oh well, it doesn't matter. She's losing on Raw next week.
I've actually got to wonder, is there something more with Sasha, health-wise?
No.
Nope. There isn't that.
It's just Vince thinks she's injury prone.
Yeah.
Just being wary.
Pretty much.
Call it Daniel Bryan syndrome.
No, really. They actually do. The point being is, it just doesn't feel. This is where
Charlotte hasn't had that defining loss yet, where she goes to the back of the order.
I agree with you, but it just doesn't.
Like,
it doesn't feel right.
That defining loss will be at WrestleMania.
Agreed.
Whether you like it or you don't like it is a different matter. But that loss will come at WrestleMania.
True, but personally, I think I understand that they gave the title to the boss, and then she won it back for pay-per-views. But the point being is, I think it would have, straight away, next night on Raw, loses title. Wins on pay-per-view, next night on Raw, loses title. I think it devalues the win of, as much as you can say, yes, you step up your game for the big events, that's fine. But why should you slack off why should you slack off and not step up your game when you're the champion? If you're the damn champion, you step up your game and you show why you are champion.
I think Charlotte's next feud will be with Asuka.
Which I think will be a good call, but that's just my opinion in regards to that whole situation.
Oh no, I understand where you're coming from.
It just,
but I don't feel like the Sasha Banks Charlotte has devalued it. I think it's actually improved the title.
Once fine, one or two times is fine. But don't keep doing it all the time and then moving on to Bayley and then, because then because what's going to happen now? Is she going to beat Bayley next night on Raw? Bayley wins the title again.
No, be WrestleMania when she wins the title.
No, but you get the point what I'm saying. And then because then she'll need the title back for WrestleMania. So what's it going to be? She beats Bayley at the pay-per-view. Bayley beats her on Raw. Charlotte wins it back on the other Raw. It just doesn't do any.
I understand that, but I don't mind the way that she's been booked.
I just feel as though, regardless of what you're saying, a lot of people will step up at the pay-per-views. If you're a champion, you step up no matter what. You are champion. You should be at the peak. You should be at the top of the... Why do you think JR always states, whenever someone wins the title, they're at the top of the mountain, targets on your back. You've got to be the best, why do you think Ric Flair always stated, to be the man, you got to beat the man? It's not, to be the man, you just got to beat him at the pay-per-view and then lose the title on Raw and then get it back. No.
But it proves anything can happen.
It does, but as much as you can say anything can happen, but I still stand by my guns on this and on my views.
I understand that. Kevin Owens v Goldberg.
Tough position.
Do you want to be Kevin Owens right now? You've carried the belt since just after SummerSlam. Are they going to give him a chance to have his main event against Jericho for the belt? Which would be nice.
I think they should.
Or is he going to end up with the US title off Jericho at WrestleMania?
Which would be stupid. I think that would be stupid if they do that. Because straight away, I agree that Goldberg is a phenomenal entertainer. Puts butts in seats. But take this into account. And this is an opinion. This is a fan's opinion. Vince, understand this. When it comes to the main events, pay-per-views, the big one, why do you think, as much as you may not like this person right now, CM Punk, why do you think he was so upset he never mainlined WrestleMania? Because you had part-timers always coming in. Yes, they put butts in seats, but the part-timers aren't there.
If the shoe was on the other foot and it was CM Punk being asked to come into
I agree
to main event to WrestleMania as a part-timer, he would have no objections doing it as long as the money was right. So
agreed.
And it's a business.
He would be considered a bit of a hypocrite.
Who puts more butts in seats, The Rock or CM Punk?
I actually agree. No, I'm actually agreeing with you on this. But the problem is as much as you're clambering onto the past dynasty and everything, how are you meant to be making future stars, bigger stars? How are you meant to be making them as big as Austin, as big as The Rock? How? When the main event, if they plan it right now, the way they are, automatically, if Goldberg beats Kevin Owens, straight away, who's headlining WrestleMania?
Well, how did they build John Cena?
Originally.
Yeah?
Beating JBL.
Okay. But can you remember what the main event was of that show? Because that was the first match on the card.
Would that be Batista versus Triple H?
Okay.
The main event of that show?
So...
As he won the Rumble.
If you go back to, I think it's WrestleMania 20... Might be 20, might be 22. The card that night was Big Show versus John Cena.
Yeah.
And then in the main event, you had a part-time Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
Which he was. It was for televisions, didn't do any house shows.
Yeah.
Against, and I forget who it was, it might have been... Wasn't Ric Flair? Who did he face at 23? Vince versus Vince was higher up the card. But you build... I think it's Vince, I don't know, I'll have a look at the cards a little bit later.
Which one? 22 or 23?
Where John Cena faced the Big Show to get the US title.
Oh, before he won the...
Yeah, it was in 2004.
19?
No.
No, it was past 20.
So it was 20, WrestleMania 20. Because there was Undertaker.
Yeah, it was 20.
So 20, was that Kurt Angle that Shawn Michaels faced?
No, it was Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, that was Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero.
And then the infamous main event was the triple threat. Triple H versus Shawn versus...
Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
But Shawn Michaels was a part-timer by all accounts.
Yes. Which
on
you
that
could
card.
say.
Undertaker was a part-timer.
Yeah.
That, even
no,
though
I'm not. I am not stating.
You build these people up by having them on the same card as the part-timers, because your part-timers sell more tickets but you get exposure to the crowd.
No.
So therefore, you have to work your way up.
Agreed, but the problem is with it is when you're getting part-timer versus part-timer, one part-timer who, I want you to defend the title within 30 days. Nope. So straight away, automatically.
Well, your name's Brock frickin' Lesnar.
Sorry, but if you're gonna have a rule for one, where everybody, well, Naomi, you won't be able to defend your title within the 30-day waiting period.
See, now, you've hit the nail on the head there. You won't be able. Brock Lesnar's able. Just doesn't want to.
You're defending the title? Nope. Pay me more money. We'll talk about that. But when you want to defend it, when you want to defend the title after beating Goldberg for the title, WrestleMania, huh?
Well, all you can do is wrestle, since he won't be able to do much with his misses. On a medical basis. I went there. Sorry.
Would you care to explain?
Well, injecting himself with stuff to produce more hormones. That means for a while, until his manhood has had time to regenerate, he's got low levels.
Are you saying? Are you implying something here?
He's going to be feeling a little droopy.
I believe the lover boy is referring to a certain abuse,
Which has not been proven yet.
It's not been proven, and besides, part-timers don't actually get tested for that due to certain rules and regulations that bypass it. Anyway, so moving on from that, so that's that argument's invalid with Brock Lesnar.
But no, so it'll be an interesting.
I agree with you that if it worked partly with The Rock and Cena because you got The Rock, who was the part-timer and Cena wasn't at the time. Next to what I said, at the time, right? A part-timer against a full-timer works. Part-timer versus part-timer, it just seems they're relying on...
Bray Wyatt's going to get a chance to main event SmackDown's part of WrestleMania.
Yeah, which is great.
So they're building a new star there.
Straight away there, yes.
But who else in that match? Randy Orton, veteran.
Yeah.
Potentially Luke Harper as well. There'll be the three of them in a triple.
But they're not too sure yet. They're still arguing
More
over
than
it.
likely. But Bray Wyatt is in that main event. That's what we know.
Which is great.
As the world champion.
Which is great.
So he won't be asked if he's in the middle of the card or whatever, because he's getting his chance to be the main event for SmackDown.
Yes. But I just feel as though for Kevin Owens...
Yeah, well, I believe he should get a chance to go in. He won't main event it because that is not the main event of the night. The build that Goldberg's had, and that's why I don't mind it being the thing, because it's not hurting anyone else on the card. No one is being hurt by Goldberg versus Lesnar.
I'm not saying it's hurting it, but making it for the world title.
Why not?
It just doesn't... I know exactly what you're saying, but why should Brock have a title match? Because he's lost to Goldberg how many times?
Finn Balor come back and take the title back off Brock Lesnar?
It still doesn't feel magical, if you know what I mean, to me. Personally, if I'm honest with you, I think Lesnar should somehow cost Goldberg the title match.
I think Jericho cost.
Or Jericho get himself involved somehow. Then Goldberg and Finn have their feud, and then Jericho versus Kevin Owens will be an interesting dynamic. Now, we know Jericho's still with WWE for a few months, so we will eventually be able to lose the US title. But
do like unification, couldn't
they could potentially. But I do think what would be a more interesting return is for Kevin Owens to get overconfident with himself because he's I beat Goldberg. I beat the guy who thinks he best in the world at what he does. Who can touch me now? Finn. Why can Finn touch him? Finn's got a higher win record against Kevin Owens on WWE, and that's including NXT.
I've got to say something. I'm not sure what's going to happen, apart from I think Triple H is going to have another bit of a storyline with this. Bit of a possibility of his NXT with Raw.
We spoke about this last week.
We did.
I do believe something like that.
Also missing as a tag team.
Mm.
You got Samoa Joe, you got Kevin Owens.
There's a good lineup.
But
It's better than half of Raw's lineup, to be honest.
need to say more. Yeah, but the point being is, Balor versus Kevin Owens is tried and tested already. NXT proved that. If I'm not mistaken. Now, straight away, some may agree with me or not. So you say, oh, it's already been done. Yes, it's already been done on NXT, not on the main roster. Which I think would be interesting. Because we both know them pair can go. And actually put a good match for that title. Which would value that title more. I'm not saying Goldberg and Lesnar wouldn't value the title anymore. I just feel as though straight away, all that would happen. Straight away, Goldberg beats Kevin Owens. Boom. I'm the champion for this month or before WrestleMania. Boom. Goldberg beats not Goldberg. Brock Lesnar beats Goldberg. Oh, I'm the new champion. I ain't gonna defend it when I want. Balor comes in and takes the title from straight away. It doesn't feel as epic.
Yeah.
Whereas Kevin Owens getting past Goldberg by being a slimy get or being, a bit of an opportunist would be more interesting. And then it would, give more for Chris Jericho, because Chris Jericho does state he is the best at what he does, and Jericho has got a good proven track record with the main event stage.
Yeah. I can't disagree with the way that it's going, but I just think Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar is destined to be for the world title.
It just seems not very. Doesn't seem very clever. I think if it was Brock versus somebody else at WrestleMania for the title, or Goldberg versus somebody else for the title at WrestleMania, would stand more. A part-timer versus a full-timer means more, or full-timer versus full-timer. Part-timers versus part-timer for your main bout. It's just like, really, it doesn't do. To me,
It adds prestige to the title.
A little bit, but nowhere near.
Recognised veterans getting it. Bearing in mind the heritage of the title's got at the moment is 2 NXT guys. That's it.
Agreed. It does bring some more prestige for have Goldberg's name down on it.
And then Lesnar.
And then Lesnar's, okay, it would. Then straight away NXT guy takes it back.
And?
I just feel as though it would be more better if it went through its natural way instead of going through the...
NXT is supposed to be the under show. They're not yet to Raw standard.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong. Wrong.
No,
NXT is the proving ground.
It is the proving ground.
Yeah. But it's also the way up where people have to learn the WWE style.
Pretty much.
It isn't that the wrestlers aren't good because they acknowledge the backgrounds. It's where they put them to work the WWE style.
Yeah.
So, like, people... Yeah, basically like fine-tuning. It's basically like a motor shop. You buy a Ferrari, but you want it to drive in America instead of Europe, you have to send it to the aftermarket tuners. So WWE signs these talents, sends
it for tuning.
Sends it for tuning in NXT, like Bobby Roode. They've already acknowledged Bobby Roode's won world titles around the world.
Correction, Bobby Roode.
Duh. That's the ring announcer, not the actual wrestling name. It's Bobby Roode. Not Bobby.
I just know how much you love it so much.
God damn it,
But no, so like, you've got Bobby Roode.
Matthew, here's your little cheap plug for you. Marty's trying to just mention Botchamania for you.
So...
Out the way for you.
So they're trying to plug like people's history. So it's basically just like a fine-tuning aftermarket.
It is.
NXT is.
It's nice.
Where it gives the guys introduction to the WWE fan base, and it lets them see where people can go right, wrong, and what needs tuning before they make it to the main roster for whatever spot they were brought in for.
Some work, some doesn't.
Yeah. It's basically like a playground. It's Triple H's playground to see what he wants.
Yeah, I can actually agree with that.
Supermarket.
It works. It's not like it. Oh God, why the hell did I just? As soon as you mentioned supermarket, why is it? I just pictured Triple H doing it. Dale Winton.
Supermarket sweep.
Pretty much. And you hear the beep.
So, what are we looking at then this week? What else has happened this week in the world of wrestling? I know the Hardys have fought for another tag team title.
Yep, because they're doing their hunt for their gold and everything.
Did they carry all the belts out on TNA?
Good Lord.
Could you imagine if they carried out all the tag team titles that they've got?
One of them, eventually, it just be eventually, get the extra body!
Senor Benjamin!
Get Senor Benjamin! That'd be ace. However, at the moment as well, there has been some legal disputes at the moment with AAA, with a company that's linked with AAA and Lucha Underground, to do with I'm just trying to remember the names. Pentagon
Junior.
Dark and what's the other one's name? The one that was recently on WCPW against him, Drago. There was and Phoenix. There was actually some dispute over the names and everything. They were clearly stating that they own the copyright, cease and desist, and everything. However, it sort of backfired a little bit because the company that they sent it to sent a message back. We understand your wishes and everything. However, we only use characters that the professional wrestler owns themselves. Stating so, it's sort of arguing, bringing up is do AAA and the guys who run AAA and Lucha Underground own Pentagon Dark's wrestling name Folly.
Do they?
Which at the moment it's not currently known who owns it, Folly, but from the background it's looking like the actual wrestler themselves actually own the name, because he actually put it in before he actually put that his request in for the copyright before the company.
Well, that's fair enough.
Which basically defeats that argument.
Yeah. Also on the Hardys match in Tijuana, while you're on about Lucha Underground, have you seen what? Because TNA released a match, didn't they?
Go on.
And they've had to blur the referee out because he's contracted to Lucha Underground.
Oh yes, I remember reading up about this. Well, it couldn't be on any video footage, probably could be on non-aired footage.
Yeah, so they've had to blur him out.
Legally, because if they actually show him, he will be in breach of contract.
Like after people on the traditional Top Gear.
Oh, and I need to point out one mistake that happened recently on WCPW. One major issue that Jim Ross made. I do apologise, Jim Ross, but
do not offend the wrestling god.
But JBL isn't on there.
JBL isn't on there. My God! Anyway, no, the mistake I'm on about is just to point out, Prince Puma is not King Ricochet. Just to point that out, even though he clearly stated it, just for legal reasons. Prince Puma is not Ricochet. I'm not at liberty to say.
Some say.
Some say he is the man. He is the man behind the mask. However, whether it's true or not will never be found. Although they do wear some nicely coloured pants that are very, very similar to each other. Either they go to the same place, or they're the same person. You be the judge.
Well, if you ever wondered why you never see me and Batman in the same room.
Well, because Gotham needs you.
That couldn't be any more cheesy but smooth if you try. That just worked so well. It's caused that much of a silence there. That's fantastic.
Good Lord. Great for a broadcast. Silence.
Where are we going after this? To Gotham.
I promise you'll never see me and Batman in the same room.
Of course, because he's a fictional character, you moron.
Who will? Batman's watching a porno.
What was that, Marty? Would you care to repeat that?
I'm sure Nathan Goth is a porn star.
Really?
Who? The man, the myth, the legend?
Yeah.
Actually, does seem more, coming soon, the man, the myth, the porn star!
He has done a European tour.
You can't deny it.
Suppose I can do an American tour.
Oh, good Lord. I better get the lawyer. If anybody knows any good lawyers, please send them in to thedebatingtruth@outlook.com. We need them fast.
You can send me and Jim Cornette to the same room.
I'd advise against that.
You two commentating on a match, that would actually be perfect.
No, because they both agree with each other too much.
Yeah, it'd be completely hostile. It'd be fantastic.
It wouldn't be hostile. It'd just be them agreeing, not actually arguing. He'd just bring up Vince Russo, hear the rant.
Exactly. They bounce off each other, get themselves right, get each other riled up, and then Cornette will obviously have his little tennis racket. Nathan will probably just use a chair or a table, and you'll show them exactly how it's properly done. Because someone will fuck up.
What? Someone starts. So basically, so what you're implying is he'll use a chair or table. Cornette will use his racket. What do you think they're going to have a ping pong match?
Like how Nathan had to show you how an RKO was done.
That never happened.
It does.
No, it didn't.
It does. I've also had to show AJ Hughes how to do an headlock takeover.
That you did, but I don't know anything about an RKO.
Smoothest headlock takeover you'll ever see.
Perfect! In fact, I think even a certain Ty Dillinger would even give his rating of 10! 10! 10!
Smooth transition. Effortless.
A non-wrestler out wrestling a wrestler. Boom! Hit the curb.
So, moving on. Paige is now being played in this $7 thingy by, I forget what the actor's name is, but they're not having Paige portray herself in this film.
It's hard to explain because the footage that they're actually using is from the actual WWE ring.
Yeah.
Pre-show, so
before and after the show.
Yeah.
That came out.
Which we'll actually move on to that subject straight after. You're on about fighting with my family.
Can I also point something out?
Go on.
So, you mentioned porn about 5 minutes ago. So,
why do I get the feeling he's going to be bringing up the Vince McMahon porno that he's done? They've done.
Right. So, what happened in 1997?
Oh, good Lord.
What famous incident happened in 1997?
I have no idea what you're on about.
It involves a certain Shawn Michaels, a Bret Hart, and a Vince McMahon, and a Earl Hebner.
He's bringing it up. That damn bloody porno.
So, Martin's gone blank. He's so
gone.
What the Montreal screw job?
The Montreal screw job.
Yeah, I know that bit, but
so
I heard that something's supposed to have happened after with.
No, I'm on about the event. So that happened in '97.
Yeah.
It's now 2017, and with the name the Montreal Screwjob, you would have thought a adult entertainment company would have done it before now.
And they
However,
have just...
Brazzers, which is the American porn star megaship, the people that bought you Sonny acting like a lifeless slut for 40 minutes.
But also, just to point out, they don't just do all porn. They also do some other video footages and everything as well, for legal reasons.
And it's
nice
mainly known for porn.
It
What?
may have only been one a year. Be nice to Sonny.
It somewhere between 1 and 40 minutes.
Wait, go back. You mentioned Sonny. Has some Sonny eye drops which may cause irritable edges, bowel syndrome, and colostomy bags.
Right. So going back to that instance, so Brazzers have now signed a deal to have that made as a porn movie. So
He isn't kidding.
Brazzers will be bringing to you the Montreal Screwjob, where Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart are played by females.
And Vince McMahon's in between going, yes.
Something to remind me of the sorority. Submission sorority. I think WWE are going to get another fruit basket.
Fruit baskets all around. or is this their return to sender?
He's going to have Vince the actor who plays Vince, kick a door down. But can he pull off the power walk?
And does he have the genetic jackhammer?
Well, it's going to have to have like a crowbar put between his legs so he can walk out with like the little
swagger.
And the question is will they actually have his theme playing in the background? Do they have the copyright to say, "You got no chance," or would they put their own badly dubbed porn music under it?
It'll be their own badly dubbed porn music.
Or they can have a Stoke-on-Trent version. No chance in Chow. I went there, and I always will.
But no, so
moving on.
That's happened. That has been signed. This is the same company that bought Sonny being slammed for 40 minutes, acting with no soul.
Which may cause itchy eyes, bowel syndrome, and colostomy bags.
Wrestling pornos never normally good.
That's John Cena.
John Cena and Kendra Lust. The most rumoured affair.
I have no idea what you're on about.
So that's what's been signed this week. So I just thought I'd link in very nicely to your little porn shot.
Shall we get on to the back to the fighting with my family?
Yeah, you can get on with fighting with my family if you want.
Have you actually seen who's playing whom? You're on about Florence Pugh, aren't you?
Yeah.
Who's playing Paige?
Yeah.
Yes, interesting wrestling selection. People who they've got. They've got some fairly good actors in this. I will say the person who's playing Julia Bevis, which is Sweet Soraya, they've got Lena Headey. I apologise for mispronouncing that. She, do you know who she is? Game of Thrones. Ring any bells?
I'm probably in like the 1% of the country that's never watched Game of Thrones.
Cersei Lannister.
What?
Cersei Lannister. Moving on. Have you seen who's playing Rowdy Ricky Knight? You may recognise this name. Nick Frost. Hot Fuzz. Shaun of the Dead. His mate.
Okay.
There you go.
Look, all I'm saying is, I'd rather it be like a documentary, not.
I know what you're saying.
Where they're going with it.
Do you know what the interesting thing about it is? Who it's actually being directed and written by?
The Rock, isn't it?
And WWE.
With Dwayne Johnson starring and producing.
It's got WWE's full back.
It does, but do you want to know who it's directed and written by? Stephen Merchant.
Well done, he's done a few bits and bobs with WWE over the years, hasn't he?
Stephen Merchant. You don't know who that is?
My mind's a blank. But I know, I know he's done a fair bit with them.
He mostly works, he does big collaborations with Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington.
Fuck me, I hate them.
The tall guy?
You tend to know who you hate.
He does the voice. He does the voice of Wheatley on Video Game Portal 2.
I thought it was about to say Video Game Portal 2 then.
This episode's just going down the gutter.
What? Really? You're saying that? How dare you?
Well, we've got you in the studio.
Oh. But then again, the standards went completely low when we allowed you in.
So,
Exactly.
moving on from fighting with my
Exactly,
family.
because nothing beats you.
So, moving on from fighting with my family, because I don't recognise half the cast.
Well, there is two of them that will be interesting that I need to bring up. Do you know who Vince Vaughn is playing?
I know who Vince Vaughn is.
Do you know who he's playing?
It doesn't matter who he's playing.
He's playing a legend.
Go on.
Jake the Snake
What?
Roberts.
Isn't Vince Vaughn like incredibly tall?
Yes.
He doesn't have long hair, and even I can't imagine.
And he's
long
not
hair.
probably 6'2" and about 240 pounds.
And he'll have to put on a fair bit of muscle. And he'll probably scream with a snake. He'll run away like a little girl. Have you seen Dodgeball?
Yes.
Pansy!
At least he dodged the wrench eventually.
Just game they weren't.
Didn't dodge the spanner though.
Oh, honk!
Who
Anyway.
else in there? So I recognise one. Just the one.
Just the one. This one will interest you. The person who's playing AJ Lee. You won't know her by her real name, which is Thea Trinidad.
Yeah, Thea Trinidad is a TNA ex-wrestler and was also signed to NXT as a Rosebud.
Do you know who she was when she was on the TNA?
She was the tag team champions with Tara.
Do you know what her name was?
She was part of that fucking Mexican exchange, whatever the fuck
Rosita.
it's called. Yeah, Rosita.
Rosita. And she was actually Knockouts Tag Team Champion with
So,
Sarita.
in that whole movie, there's only one person who can take a bump.
Nope. There's two.
Well, who's the second one?
Dwayne.
There's The Rock in there.
Yeah,
as
he's
well,
in
is he?
there.
Well, it can be
Who's he
argued
gonna
that he
be?
can take a bump
Huh?
Who exactly is he going to be?
himself. I
Himself.
imagine. For once.
Yeah, apart from he was only doing his moves in the odd time when Paige was back.
No, he
Not so many
is
crossovers,
sort
has
of
he?
still, he is actually linked with the family. He is actually a big, massive supporter of Paige and everything, so that's why he's more linked into doing this. A lot of people don't realise how much he was actually trying to help Paige. He's a big fan of her.
Thank God the Rock came to Britain to watch that in time.
Right, so moving on as we wrap this show up in a nice little bubble.
Yeah, before it bursts and someone messes up and I'm just going, now we're fucked.
Yeah. So it's all going across very nicely.
Now we're not yet fucked.
Yeah. So moving on to our last thoughts. The Rock calling CM Punk after Raw went off the air.
It wasn't off the air, it was before the show actually.
No, he came out before and after.
No, the call was actually before.
Oh yeah, before, yes.
Was before.
And by the sounds of it was just to stop the fans chanting CM Punk. Over and done
supposedly trying it. However, The Rock actually called CM Punk,
yeah.
which did not sit well with backstage. It generated a lot of heat. Vince McMahon was not happy.
Well, neither was Triple H.
Neither was he. No, agreed. Neither one was happy. Basically,
And the mic got took down for a second.
and then when they brought it back up, I hope my mic doesn't get cut off again. Oh.
Oh, Vince. Big poor bugger.
That's when the referee wrap up the segment, didn't he?
Pretty much. The difference is he ended up leaving him an answer message to end it, and then when he wrapped it up, the funny thing about it, CM Punk actually replied.
Yeah.
thanking the crowd, we do miss you and everything.
Well, he obviously don't miss him that much because he hasn't wrestled since.
Maybe he's still recovering from the beating he took.
Why don't you go wrestle him one of the Bingo Wars? If he loves people that much. Well, why not go wrestle in Japan? He obviously doesn't love people that much. Otherwise, he'd still be selling these ice cream bars and putting butts in seats. All he's bothered about is the money. Money.
Yeah. Money. Yeah.
People say, he's keeping his word of not wrestling for WWE. Go to New Japan. You go and wrestle somewhere where fans can watch you.
Not being funny or anything, but there is an old saying in wrestling: never say never.
I actually think he's got a bit of a disadvantage with that whole infection issue, where he had a massive tennis ball-sized lump on his back.
Staph infection.
Yeah. Well, people have obviously checked out the footage from there, and that's the trouble. It wasn't there.
It's not.
They checked the dates. He says it was plainly obvious. Sorry about bringing that up, but
That's the past.
Yeah.
We're moving on.
All I'm saying is, if you really miss people, he'd still wrestle somewhere.
Yeah.
Getting your ass kicked in 2 minutes in the UFC is not really
a good ending.
Wrestling in your pants.
And being told he won't be fighting in the UFC again until he's got more practice.
Well, they're already looking at the second fight, isn't he? Trying to set a second fight.
He's trying to set up a second fight.
He's been offered a fight by Jason David Frank.
Yes, but
why will he not take this fight? I would happily pay the UFC £60 to watch Jason David Frank kick his ass.
Right, a lot of people.
A Green Ranger outfit.
Are you ready for this? Interesting note for you. The UFC. What is Jason David Frank's win record in MMA?
He's undefeated.
How many wins?
I think he's got 7 or 8.
Not by the UFC standards.
He's had 7 or 8 MMA fights.
Yes, fights. How many at the professional level?
No.
One. That's it.
Which he's won, hasn't he?
Which he won. He hasn't lost, but the point being is, by their standards, not up to scratch. Which I'm actually quite surprised that they actually allowed CM Punk.
Yeah, so not up to scratch. So therefore, perfect.
And have Amy Jo Johnson to escort him to the ring.
What?
And have Amy Jo Johnson to escort him to the ring. The Pink Power Ranger.
Are you on about Kimberly?
Yes.
It would have been easier just to say Kimberly for all simple to know for you.
My head hurts.
But how about Catherine?
No, sorry, she just doesn't cut it.
She lasted longer.
Yeah, just wasn't good enough. She's like,
didn't get your thrills and
the original
spills.
is always better in that way. She just wasn't there. No.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but they're being replaced.
But no, so just quickly going back. So therefore, an opening fight, Jason David Frank versus CM Punk. Why is he not taking that fight?
If I'm
I'd
honest with
pay
you,
for it.
that would be a dream for Dana.
Yeah, CM Punk's last one did say that the arena literally emptied as soon as he lost.
Yeah, because the whole spectacle. He did bring in the crowd. However, bringing in somebody who's got no mixed martial arts background against somebody who's got it, he just basically took a. Yes. He has. He took a heavy beating. Now, Jason David Frank does actually have some martial arts background.
And he's had more fights than CM Punk in the MMA.
Unofficially. Professionally, one each. Only one each, professionally.
Yeah, professionally, but unprofessionally, he's had more fights.
Yes. But the point being is, I think personally, if they were going to do it, it would put butts in seats. It'd be a money-making match for Dana and the UFC. It would actually be a good fight.
Well, it'd be quick.
It'd probably be quick. Be another beating.
Mama gonna knock you out!
Jesus didn't I? Jesus didn't I?
CM Punk could have to train for a lot more and have a few. I think he should have a few amateur matches in the meantime. he needs that proper experience. Not
Yes, he does, but the problem with that is how long the matches actually take to actually book and everything. It's hard to explain because
behind the scenes matches, so that's
behind you could say that. However, that would take a toll on the body, and for how long they'd have to be scheduled for.
a couple of years down the
It'd
line.
be years down the road before that match actually gets booked. By then, the spectacle, the idea of it would have actually expired and gone past its date. Now is the time to book it.
And the message would be
Yeah. So on that note, folks, send us your thoughts.
Send us your thoughts, any ideas and everything. I recommend. If you got any topics that you want us to discuss and everything for us, we would like to hear them out. You can either email them to us, send them to us on our social media and everything, or even leave a comment on the speaker page if necessary.
Yeah. But other than that, folks, have a good week. I will leave you in the capable hands of Matt Burns to wrap up the show.
Just me?
With
Loverboy.
With the Love Machine.
It's just a love machine.
Feeding someone's fantasy.
Being someone's lover.
yes. This won't ever drop.
No, it won't. Anyway, as usual, is there anything you would like to officially? Because this is the segment where we get some plugs out and everything. As always, we always recommend our UK Wrestle Fan Zone and the UKWA, which is also known as the United Kingdom Wrestling Alliance. Give them a nice little plug. Check them out. They've always been helpful, as they've actually next week. Just to point out as well, we will be dropping some news about the King of the Kingdom tournament, the King of the Kingdom Championship, on how that bout will actually be eventually won and everything. But that's for next week, which will be we will be actually doing the show next week on Saturday at our regular scheduled programming time, which should be 9:00 on Saturday. Is there anything you'd like to plug? Any YouTube channels you'd like to plug?
Just the traditional one as always. Team 4-star.
We've got Team 4-star, Botchamania.
I'm in anticipation that he recovers. He's the Rob Dyke.
He's on about Rob Dyke with his Magnitude of Series, which is seriously strange and why would you put that on the internet? And I'd like to give a shout out to the Old School Wrestling Review, also known as oswreview.com. So if you want to give them a check out, we'd be more than happy. As always, we always recommend you stay well, stay safe, and check out your local wrestling. So with that, stay well, stay safe, and see you next week at the regular scheduled programming time of on Saturday at 9 in the afternoon, GMT time. Thank you.